We'll start with the prayers. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. We have started the study of Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, and we are in the 15th verse today. The section from 15th verse till the 30th verse of the second chapter is an extremely important section. And what we are studying is the heart of the whole Bhagavad Gita. In the 11th verse, Lord Krishna said that why are you grieving over the death of Bhishma and Drona? There is no grief required. In order to answer why there is no grief required, he teaches Atma Vidya. Generally in life, unless and until you become a spiritual student, then only you will get Atma Vidya. When you become a spiritual student and go to a guru, he will teach Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and Brahma Sutra. These are the three fundamental texts for Atma Vidya. Atma Vidya is a very, very profound teaching, divine teaching. A lot of preparation is required for this teaching. Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Hatha Yoga. So many different yogas are there. They are all preparations for the ultimate Jnana Yoga. So in this section from the 12th verse till the 30th verse, we are seeing Jnana Yoga portion. This will be taught again in the 13th, 14th and 15th chapter in a very elaborate way. The 13th verse, the 12th verse and the 13th verse gives us an introduction to this Atma. The 12th verse said Atma is Nityaha. The first lesson you get in Atma Vidya. Nitya means eternal. World is non-eternal. It comes, it appears, disappears. Body comes, body disappears. But in this experience of ours, there is something called as Atma, which is eternal. If you know that eternal Atma correctly, very clearly from the study of Bhagavad Gita, the greatest benefit you will get is the knowledge that I am not the body which is born and gone, but I am the Atma which is eternally available. So verse number 12 is Nityaha. Verse number 13 is Nirvikaraha. Nirvikaraha means changeless, modificationless. The second aspect of Atma we should note is Atma is always the same. I am a conscious being. This feeling in us never leaves us. I am a waker, I am a dreamer, I am a sleeper, those are all changing. But what is the fundamental adhishtanam, the substratum, I am, I am, I am, I am existent, I am conscious. And this existence and consciousness is nirvikaraha, changeless. Even before the birth of the body, I was this existence consciousness. Even while the body is there, I am existent consciousness. Even when the body is gone, I am existent consciousness. Therefore, if you understand the 14th verse, you can say, I am immortal Atma. Body has got mortality, mind has got change every moment. But I am immortal. Second lesson. Verse number 14 and 15 are side topics. They are not directly giving you information about Atma. They are telling you what is the preparation which you need to understand this Atma, which has been described in 12 and 13. Nitya, Nirvikara. If you want to understand clearly and own up that as your self, as your real nature, you need preparations. In the 14th verse, they talk about titiksha, forbearance. Why do you need forbearance? Why do you need titiksha? Because this world which we experience is made up of pancha bhutas, which are constantly changing. Our experiences are made up of these pancha bhutas only. Pancha bhutas are anityam. They are not permanent. So, because they are not permanent, they are uncontrollable, they are unpredictable. See, changes happen in the world all the time, either in your body, either in your circumstances, surroundings, or in your country, or in the external world. Always there are changes continuously happening. So one must develop forbearance, titiksha, which is one of the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, which we learnt in Tattvabodha. That was verse number 14. Now we are into the 15th verse, and let me now start where we stopped last week. Now, in the 15th verse is also telling us, it is a side topic. It is telling us, if you have titiksha, what is the benefit? The benefit is your mind will be ready for receiving this knowledge. See, suppose my mind is always engrossed in the world and I am extroverted all the time. Your mind will not be ready to understand what is the real nature of the world and the real nature of our own self. So here the question which is asked by Shankaracharya is, what happens to those who can endure the opposite experiences in life? Heat and cold, joy and sorrow, success and failure. In all this, Lord Krishna says, Shankaracharya says, have samatva buddhi. All of us, we experience anger. We experience loss of temper. In the later third chapter, Lord Krishna, in the 34th verse of the third chapter, he says, anger is also a form of kama, which is desire. It is another form of kama. Expectation. I expect this in my family, it doesn't happen, therefore I become angry. So that expectation is also kama. And the solution to kama is titiksha. I need to have forbearance. I need to tolerate things which, when they happen against my wish outside, I need to tolerate it. That is what he says, Shankaracharya says in this 15th verse. So whenever we become angry, there are three things we should watch. If you are a Bhagavad Gita student, if you're not a Bhagavad Gita student, you won't even bother. Okay, I became angry, and then you sort it out and then go on. But if you are a student, you should start watching the frequency of anger, how frequently you become angry. Some people say that within 1 hour, every 1 hour I become angry. Some people say every day I become angry once. Some people say once a week. For some, it is once a month. For some, it is once in 6 months. For some, it is once a year. For a jnani, it is never. Frequency, termed as F. The second word is intensity. How intense is your anger? Does it go long for 2 hours, 3 hours, and then you patch up with your husband or your children? Or it continues for 1 week? How intense it is. And the third one is recovery period. Recovery period means how fast you come back to normalcy. See, some people, they are completely overwhelmed by anger. I mean, these are all the qualities of the mind. You don't have to feel guilty about anger at all, which is what Lord Krishna teaches in the 3rd chapter. He says this is the quality of the mind. Mind is a product of Panchabhutas. Whenever there is an interaction between the Panchabhutas in my body and the Panchabhutas outside, there is interaction. That is what is life. Sometimes when it is against my wishes, I become angry. If the interaction is as per my raga dvesha, then I am able to tolerate it. So FIR reduction is required if you want to practice titiksha. And it is a practice. See, you can write down in your notebook. I have had several students who have told me, not 1 or 2, several. So this is very, very common. Anger is a very common thing amongst all the human beings. It is one of the emotions, that's all. So be aware. That's all Lord Krishna wants to say. When you become aware itself, that means you have taken the first step to reduce your anger. Some people say that because I am angry in the office, I can get work done in the office. What Shankaracharya says is, in the long term, anger never pays. That is why Samatva Buddhi is taught in the Bhagavad Gita. In several verses, you will find Samatvam Yoga Uchate. In the 2nd chapter itself, there will be another verse. What is Samatvam? What is Atma? Atma, they say, is Samatvam. Now, what is the benefit of this titiksha? Shankaracharya says in the 15th verse, there are 2 benefits. One is you get jnana, Atma jnana. The second benefit is you become free from identification with the body and mind as I, the individual, which is called as moksha. Let's now listen to Vijaya chanting this shloka.
Yam hina व्यथयन्त्येते यं हि न व्यथयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ समदुःखसुखं धीरं समदुःखसुखं धीरं सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते
Amritatvaya kalpate. That is the essence of this verse. If you develop titiksha, samatva buddhi, you will get immortality. How? Shankaracharya will explain. Verse number 14 said you must have the capacity to maintain mental balance. Verse number 15 is giving us the benefit. Mental balance is indication of titiksha. What is the benefit? The first stage is you come to attain jnanam. See, in Tattva Bodha, we talk about Viveka, Vairagyam, Shamada, Adi Sakka Sampatti, Mumukshutvam. All these are four primary qualities required in a seeker. If you don't possess this in 100%, you may have 50%, but at least you become aware. Nobody has 100%. Slowly you start developing as you learn Bhagavad Gita itself, especially when you learn the Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam, your mind will become samatvam, equipoise. As you study the Bhagavad Gita for 1.5 hours, your mind is stable, it is completely focused, it's concentrated. This is a practice. Every week on a Saturday, you come and attend a session. It is a practice of training your mind for samatva buddhi. And then ultimately, this samatva buddhi, once it is cultivated and nourished, it will give you moksha. That is what is being said in the 15th verse. So 14th verse and the 15th verse are talking about the preparation which is required to get this nitya nirvikara atma jnana, which was discussed in the 12th and the 13th verse. Direct benefit is jnana. Ultimate benefit is moksha. Then Shankaracharya writes this commentary where he says, Sukham and Dukkham is experienced by all human beings. Sometimes you feel only I am having this sorrow. Shankaracharya makes it clear. If you are born as a human being, you will have sorrow, you will have joy in your life. But what is the beauty of joy and sorrow? They will come and go. There is another verse which where we will talk about, which it is in the which says this: neither the sorrow is continuous, neither the joy is continuous. Therefore, have a samanam samatva buddhi. Now, samatvam is not when you are experiencing the objects. The objective experience is common to all. That objective experiences will come and go as per your prarabdha karma, punya papa. But your response to that experience, which is in your mind, that is under your control. The response is what Lord Krishna wants you to have, a healthy response. And there are situations, many seekers, they come back to me and say, I have several situations in my life which is uncontrollable, unpredictable. For those situations, Shankaracharya says, endure. What can't be cured, you have to endure. There is no other way. See, we are all forced to live in this world. As long as the body is alive, we experience the world. So, harsha vishada rahitam manaha. Even when there is frustration in uncomfortable situations, don't keep on murmuring, oh, why am I suffering? Why am I suffering this? Why am I suffering this? There are a lot of people who do that. They are not able to control their mind. So they make it verbal. But if you practice it, if you slowly understand what is this forbearance, see, all this knowledge you get when you come to Bhagavad Gita. As you study more and more the Bhagavad Gita, you will get a complete analysis of your mind. Complete. Very detailed experiences, detailed analysis of your own mind. Especially in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the three gunas, they are only meant to understand our mind. Sama dukkha sukham is the essence behind this verse. Samatva, FIR coming down, and the result of this is you will get Atma Jnanam. See, Atma shines in a sattvic buddhi, in a mind which is quiet. That Atma, which is always existent, which is Nityaha, which is Nirvikaraha, it reflects on the silent, quiet mind. Then the jiva understands, oh, this is what is called as Atma. And then what happens? Once he understands the Bhagavad Gita knowledge of Atma, and he also experiences in his life, then his practice becomes much more intense. As your samatvam increases, you will find your intensity to study Bhagavad Gita will become 10 times more. Many people who attend the sessions which I conduct, they have been students for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. And they still keep continuing because they have seen the impact the study makes in their mind. It is a very, very invisible process, but one can feel it. And the more one studies this topic again and again and polishes the inner mirror of our mind, the more this Atma shines better and better. So cleaning up the mirror to see your own face, which you do externally, you do internally of cleaning up your mind and then seeing your real face, which is Atma. And abiding in this knowledge of Nitya Atma, Nirvikara Atma is non-forgetfulness of this Atma. Who is a jnani? You can also be a jnani. Suppose you learn that I am the Atma, which is always existing, which is always Nityaha, and it is never changing. Then what happens? Then you can also claim this. And if you claim this, what will happen? You become a Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta means what? You become free. You enjoy life. As and when the experiences come, You're always remembering, I am immortal Atma. So, balance of mind leads to immortality through Atma Jnanam. That is the message in this 15th verse. Now, what happens to that person who endures all this? In verse, now this is an introduction to the next verse, the 16th verse. Why should we stand? Why should we have samatva buddhi? One reason is that all experiences are anyway anityam. Anityam in Sanskrit, in English means it is temporary. Therefore, you withstand those experiences by titiksha. Another important reason is given in verse number 16. So, anityatvat titiksha, verse number 14. Then, mithyatvat titiksha. Try to understand both this. All my experiences are temporary. Therefore, let me bear it. Let me have equipoise all the time. This is a knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Very, very practical knowledge. Many people ask, what is the how do you practice Bhagavad Gita in real life? This is the way. Whenever experiences come, good experiences come, samatva buddhi. Whenever sorrowful experiences come, samatva buddhi, stable, equipoised mind. So the second reason is explained in a very important verse in the Bhagavad Gita, which is the 16th verse, and that is mithyatva nishchaya. Whatever I experience in the world is unreal compared to me, the Atma, which is real. This is the crux of the Gita. I, the Atma, am really there, existent. The world which I experience, which includes my body, mind, and all external experiences, is asatyam. It is mithya. Therefore, don't get obsessed with the world. See, some people, even in day-to-day life, completely obsessed with the news. This is happening, that is happening, this is happening. One day something else happens. One day it's COVID. Another day some war somewhere, and another day some another war somewhere. Another day some problems in India, and another day some cricket match. All this is going on. What Lord Krishna teaches is, yes, go through it. They're all experiences. As long as your sense organs are there, you will experience all this. But don't get obsessed with it. That is what is the message here. Experience we can have. It's a good cricket match, no problem. Enjoy the cricket match. But then understand the nature of the world. Anityatvam, mithyatvam. Keep these two words in mind all the time. When you see, not only when you are studying the second chapter, currently these sessions which are going on, even after you leave Bhagavad Gita study, remember, world is anityaha and it is mithyaha. Two Sanskrit words. If you want to keep spiritual study all the time in your mind, anityaha, mithyaha. Anityaha, mithya. In the 16th verse, I will understand very clearly what is mithya. So don't allow sorrow and delusion to overwhelm you. to such an extent that you forget your real nature as Nitya Atma, Nirvikara Atma, Satya Atma. The opposite of Mithya is Satya. World is Mithya, but I am Satya. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. I am not this Jiva Bhava, I am Atma Bhava. That is the change which I get once I study Bhagavad Gita. Jiva Bhava to Atma Bhava. From Atma Bhava to Brahma Bhava. So, in one line, you want to summarize 14, 15, 16, you should say, don't entertain grief or conflict or delusions in your life. These delusions will come and go. But have titiksha. Let's listen to the chant of the 16th verse.
नासतो विद्यते भावो नासतो विद्यते भावो नाभावो विद्यते सतः नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः.
Among the students of Bhagavad Gita, who study all the 701 verses of Bhagavad Gita, one verse almost everybody says they cannot understand is this verse. Verse number 16, second chapter. Because it has got a very deep meaning inside. Very, very deep. It is the essence of all the Upanishads and Brahma Sutra. Some of the acharyas, they call this verse as the central verse of the entire teaching of Shastra. Those people who teach Bhagavad Gita, they say, a lot of people have said that this is the central verse. You understand this verse completely, again and again, come back to the commentary of Shankaracharya, read this commentary 10 times, assimilate it in your mind, debate it in your mind, and then absorb the essence of this verse. I'll try my best to explain this verse. If you don't understand fully, you may understand partially. Your mind may be able to pick up this verse, but you have to remember to revisit this verse again and again till you are clear that this verse is clear to me. Okay, let's go ahead. Let us see the first quarter. Nasato vidyate bhavaha. The unreal world has no existence. Na asataha. There is no existence for this world. Why? Because it's unreal. Which world are we talking about? Your waking world. The waking world which we experience is unreal, like the dream world, which is taught in Mandukya Upanishad. So many 225 verses are there in Mandukya for this one sentence. Waking world is unreal. Unreal means it is experienceable, but it is not existing permanently. The first quarter is na asato vidyate bhavaha. The second quarter is na bhavo vidyate sataha. The second part is there is no non-existence for the real. See, we should understand real and unreal first. Then you should understand existence and non-existence. Existence is called as real, which is what is Atma. There is no non-existence for real means what? Atma always exists. In a negative way, we say there is no non-existence. It's double negative. So what is the verse trying to convey? I, the Atma, am immortal. I always exist. There is no change in me at any time. The world which I experience through this body and mind complex is changing. It is unreal, exactly like the dream world. What is the third quarter and the fourth quarter saying? Third quarter and the fourth quarter, the message is very simple. A jnani who knows the truth of appearance of the world and existence, permanent existence of Atma, he is the one who has the vision of Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna wants to teach this to Arjuna. Why are you crying over these bodies? Bodies will anyway die. But Atma never dies. Bhishma's Atma, Drona's Atma, your Atma, my Atma never has death. What is the pramanam for this? This verse of the Bhagavad Gita is the pramanam. And the 20th verse of the same chapter. Second chapter, we'll see the 20th verse also. Najayate mriyate va kadachit. That one. So this is the essence, this is the gist of this mantra. Brahman or Atma is the Sat in this world. That Sat means existence. Today, it might sound a little bit abstract. If you're a newcomer to Bhagavad Gita and first time you're listening to this word Sat, it may sound a little bit abstract, but as you listen more and more and more, this word will be the liberating word for you. It will give you moksha. Chandogya Upanishad, on which the Bhagavad Gita is based, Tattvamasi. I have said this in the beginning. The first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita is Tvampada. The next 6 chapters is Tatpada, and Asipada is the last 6 chapters. In Chandogya Upanishad, this verse 6 to 1 comes in, where it says that before this world was created or projected, Sat alone was there without a second. Which means what? It is changeless, it is ancient, it is eternal. That is my Swarupam. I am having a misconception, a thought in my mind saying this body, mind is me. I have to drop this notion and say, and then claim Atma. Jagat is Asat. Asat means it is not Sat. Not Sat means it is not real. It is unreal. In Vedanta, Advaitam has coined this word, mithya. As you see the commentary, I will explain to you how to understand this word Mithya. Now, there are 5 principles about this existence. This existence is not a product of the body, not the property of the body, or anything in creation. First one. Second principle is it is an independently existent principle. Nothing to do with creation. Because in Chandogya Upanishad, it says before the creation, this Sat was there. The third principle is this existence lends existence to the world for appearance. How to understand this? The waker lends existence for the dream world to appear and disappear. Similarly, pure existence, the super waker, lends existence to the waking world. Our classes are going on, our sessions are going on. It is an appearance. But what happens in the night when you go to sleep? No class is there, world is not there. But I am there. That I which I experience in the sleep state is Sat. That Sat never changes. Even when there is death of the body, Sat is always there. A student who comes to know, I am the Sat in the sleep state, I am the Sat after the death of the body, and I am the same Sat when I don't have any more bodies. Videha Mukti. So 3 experiences of a jiva, either in the sleep state or in the Maranam Kalam or in the Videha Mukti stage, if he knows that he is the Sat, which is always existent, that will give him the immortality. He will never have rebirth. That is what the Shastra says. So third principle is that it makes the world, it lends existence to the world. Pure Atma, pure Brahman is the lender of existence. So in meditation, what should I say? I am the pure Atma. In me, there is no other world. I can exist independently. World borrows existence from me. World appears in me and disappears in me, the Atma. That this is the most powerful meditation you can ever do in life. Very powerful. And it is a fact. That is why it's so powerful. The fourth principle is it is not limited by the world. Existence is not limited by the world, means it is not limited by any object. Objects have got a cause and they are effects, they are products. Karyam and Karanam exists in the Vyavaharika world. But when it comes to existence is limitless. Limitless means not limited by objects, not limited by space, not limited by time. 3 things: limitless, infinite. Limitlessness is infinite. Infinite means it is not finite. Finite means it is in time. Anything in time is finite. There is only one thing which is infinite. Ekam eva advitiyam Brahma, which is Atma. Now, the last principle is something which once you understand the 5th principle, that this existence survives the death or disintegration, death of the body or disintegration of the whole world also. In the Shastra, they say that the world itself goes into pralayam. Pralayam means it is a resolved condition. At that time also, this Brahman or Atma exists. But you cannot experience that. Surviving pure existence is not experienceable, not because it is non existent, but because there is no medium. Body, mind, and the world, they manifest Atma or Brahman. Atma or Brahman, they reveal body, mind, and the world. Two words. You should see the difference. The world manifests means it makes us known that there is something called as Atma, which is the Adhishtanam, which is the substratum. Why? Because world is mithya. Rope snake is mithya. If rope snake is mithya, it should have a substratum called the rope. Similarly, world is mithya, Atma or Brahman is the substratum. So pure Sat is never non-existent. The sleep state of ours fits this description. So remember, in the sleep state, I am existent. I am always there. But I have no experience of the body. I have no experience of the mind. They have gone into Prakriti or unmanifest condition. So world appears in manifest and unmanifest form. Pure existence is associated with the creation and it is unassociated with the creation. Association and unassociation does not have any it does not have any effect on pure existence. The associated Sat is called as Sopadika Sat. Sopadika means with Upadi, Sa-Upadi. Whenever the pure existence is there along with the body, it can be experienced. The same pure existence, when it is nirupadi, that means there is no upadi, like a crystal. A pure crystal is pure Atma, pure Brahman. But a crystal with an upadi called as a red flower appears to be red. So in the waking state, I appear to be a waker. In the dream state, I appear to be a dreamer. In the sleep state, I appear to be the sleeper because of the associations with the upadi. Upadi means medium for manifestation of the mithya world. Medium. Upadi means medium, like the red flower. So existence is not a verb, but it is an noun. Pure noun is never experienceable. So in the sleep state, I don't experience myself, but I exist as Atma. But when I am associated with the body, this body reflects that pure existence. So the existence becomes an adjectival existence, which is called as sopadik. Like light, you see a light in your room. You put your hand, you can see your hand. Remove your hand, the light is still there. But you're not able to see the manifestation of light. You can't, the light doesn't reveal anything if your hand is removed. Similarly, if the body is removed from consciousness or existence, existence and consciousness, they continue like the light, but experience is not possible. So this verse of Chandogya Upanishad, very important. Sadeva Saumyam idam agre asid. This is how Chandogya Upanishad starts the entire Upanishads. And then in the 8th section of Chandogya Upanishad, it clearly says what you experience in the sleep state is nothing but Brahman or Atma. And knowing this Atma as your real nature, you get immortality. You destroy your notion in the mind. You don't destroy your body. You don't destroy your mind. Body mind continues. World continues. So Nityaha means what? Whenever there is a world which you see, you are there. As what? Atma. Whenever you are not seeing the world also, you are there, like in the sleep state, you are Atma. So what is the trick to understand this Atma? Remember your waking state, manifest condition. Remember your sleep state, unmanifest condition. I still exist. People, they don't understand this verse in this fashion. Therefore, they get confused. Now, asat, non-existence, can be of two types. One is permanently not existent, like a horn for a man. You never see a man or a human being with a horn or rabbit. You don't see a horn. A deer has a horn, a buffalo has a horn, but you don't have, human beings don't have. But that is total non-existence. But what is mithya? Mithya means it is impermanent. I experience something, but it is impermanent. So there are two conditions for Sat. One condition is it is permanent without the world. That is Sat. Another condition for Sat is existent with the world. That means world is impermanent. Sat exists with the impermanent world. Sat also exists permanently without the world. These are the two ways to understand our own ultimate nature. See, whenever we talk about Sat, we must remember we are talking about our own nature. Sky flowers. Have you ever seen a flower in the sky? No. So sky flower is non-existent. Birds we see. Birds we see in the sky. Birds are mithya. It is seen, but it is not permanent. Why not permanent? From Vedantic angle, in the sleep state, you don't see those birds. We are analyzing ourselves. What is my nature? My nature is I am Sat existence. In me, the world appears, world disappears. So impermanent existence is called as Asat. And examples of Asat are mirage water, rope snake, dream. All this is mithya. World is mithya. In short, world is mithya. So asat means either it is mithya or it is tucham. Tucham means eternally non-existent, like the flowers in the sky. Okay, so this portion is a revision portion. So tucham I have explained, mithya I have explained, Brahman is satyam, Jagan is mithya. There is only one Satya Vastu in this universe, it is Atma or Brahman. Whenever we talk about this reality with reference to this body, it is called as Atma. The same reality, the Atma means self. The same reality, when you talk in terms of the whole world, it is called as Brahman. They are just two names of one reality. So, Anatma experiences are as per the law of karma. They are mithya. They are an appearance. They really do not exist. Therefore, accept them with titiksha. Mithyatvat titiksha. Anityatvat titiksha was mentioned before. Now we are talking about mithyatvat titiksha. So Jnani, through his mind, understands that the world I experience is mithya. Now, this is a very long commentary of Shankaracharya. You can go through this, and there is a Purva Pakshi. Purva Pakshi means opponent. There's a debate between the opponent and Shankaracharya, which he describes. I will run through through this entire description of the Shankaracharya's translation. So this is a debate. Okay. What are we discussing here? What we are saying is world is temporary. The entire experiences of hot, heat, cold, success, failure. See, you may have success in business today or in the share market today or some other place. You may have success. But don't get overwhelmed with that success. In 14th mantra of second chapter, Matra sparsha tu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama pahino nityaha tam titikshasva bharata. We studied that before the 15th verse. So world does not have intrinsic existence. Intrinsic means what? World comes and goes. Exactly like the dream world. Suppose dream world had intrinsic existence. That means all the time you should be able to see that world. In the waking state, I don't see the dream world. In the dream world, I don't see the waking world. In the sleep state, I don't see both the waking world and the dream world. Which means what? World has got some borrowed existence. World has got superficial existence. Like the dream world. Dream world has superficial existence. While dreaming, you know that the world is real. Similarly, in the waking state, while you are in the waking state, you will find that everything is real. The trees are real. The money in the bank is real. Everything is real. But from Vedanta angle, you are a super waker. You are Atma. From Atma angle, Atma alone exists. And when you analyze the Shastra carefully, you will discover that anything which is in the relative world has got a karanam and a karyam. That's what Shankaracharya takes up. He says that the world borrows existence and then it appears. So world borrows existence from Brahman or Atma, which is the real I. This is the important statement in this entire analysis of the 16th verse. The 16th verse has got a very long commentary. Throughout the commentary, you must remember this word, this one sentence. World does not have intrinsic existence. It has got borrowed existence. Who is the who is the lender of that existence? I, the Atma, am the lender of existence to the waking world, exactly like I, the waker, lend existence to the dream world. Whatever is a product does not have its own existence. Swatantra satta nasti. See, when you go through the Bhagavad Gita in this fashion of Shankaracharya's commentary, while understanding the Bhagavad Gita itself, you will realize I am Atma. That is the beauty of Shankaracharya's commentary. Chandogya Upanishad, it says, pot is mithya, clay is satya. Then it will say, clay is mithya, earth, prithvi is satya. Then it says, prithvi is mithya, jalam is satya. Then it will say, jalam is mithya, agni is satya. Pot, clay is made up of earth is a product of water is a product of fire is a product of air is a product of space. We have seen this in Tathoboda. And space is ultimately a projection of Maya. Maya means Prakriti. That is the same Maya I experience in sleep state. Causal body, causal prapancha. So vikara means it got two meanings. One is it is a modification, and the second meaning of vikara is product. Nirvikara, we studied in the 13th verse. Nirvikara means Atma is not a product. Atma doesn't have shad vikaras. It is not something which will keep on changing like the pot or the clay or the world. So pot is always not there. Therefore, we say existence status of the pot is not with the pot all the time. Existence status of the world waker is not all the time with the waker. Because waker loses this existence when he goes to sleep. The heat of the fire is it is intrinsic, but heat of water is incidental, temporary, borrowed. The world has got borrowed existence like water which has got borrowed heat. In the sleep state, when the water becomes cool, the heat goes away. Similarly, in the sleep state, the existence portion continues, but the world becomes unmanifest. Similarly, in death also, world becomes unmanifest. But what continues? The existence which is intrinsic to me, I always am there. If you take a product, I just said that pot is temporary, clay is satyam. The intrinsic nature of clay is you cannot remove it. It is the swabhava at the pot clay level. But pot can be changed. A pot can become something else, or you can destroy it and break into pieces. Now, when you look at any product in nature, you will observe these three things. Before the birth of the product, there is no existence of the product. In the middle, it is seemingly there. The pot, which is a name and form of clay, it seems to be present. Seemingly exists. Once a pot is gone, there is no existence of the pot, but there is existence of the clay, which is always there. So even when the body is visible in the waking state, we should be able to say that before the birth of the body, existence was there, but body, name and form was not there. Similarly, after the death of the body, existence continues, but the name form disappears. Existence is only one, ekam, but nama and rupa, they are continuously changing. And there are many. Pot is non-substantial. What is the substance behind the pot? It is clay. Similarly, world is non-substantial. What is behind the world? It is Atma. In Mandukya Upanishad, those who are doing Mandukya with me on Sundays, you will understand this verse. Adav vante na yan nasti vartamane pin tastatha. This is exactly what was explained in the previous chart, the previous slide. So on closer scrutiny, no substance called as pot exists, only clay exists. Similarly, no object in the universe exists, but it is Atma or Brahman alone exists. World is really non-existence, but it is an appearance. On observing the world, superficially we all say, yes, it is existent. But that existence is borrowed existence, is what this particular 16th verse, Shankaracharya wants us to note this point. Panchabhutas alone exist in Brahman. Ultimately, when you squeeze all the products, you come to the Panchabhutas. Like I said, earth, fire, water, space. And what is the substratum for the Panchabhutas? If everything is not existent, then ultimately there has to be a reality, a real vastu, which is what is called as Atma or Brahman. Pot is a karyam. Clay is karana. Clay is karyam. Prithvi is karan. Similarly, you go up to the Akasha level and then ultimately you say Maya is the Karanam. Maya means Prakriti. Prakriti means nature, which is the unmanifest condition of nature, of Panchabhutas. Which is what we experience in sleep. Causal prapancha, causal world. Causal world is called as Maya. Maya, Prakriti, unmanifest, they all mean the same thing. But this Maya is also negated by Shastra. In the Svetasvatara Upanishad, in this particular mantra which is shown here, it says that the entire world ultimately resolves into Maya, into Prakriti. But that Maya is something which is dependent on Atma. This Maya is also called as ignorance, avidya. By the knowledge of Shastra, this ignorance goes away. Ignorance of what? Ignorance that I am Atma or Brahman, which is beyond Maya. So, 5 elements, they do not know their cause as Maya. Maya means it is a power, it is a Shakti, which is projecting this entire waking state. So, ultimate matter is called as Maya. Invisible, subtlest matter ultimately is Maya, which is what we are when we look at our sleep state. It is our sleep state. It is subtlest matter. But this matter is perishable. What is imperishable is Atma or Bhagavan, Ishvara or Nirguna Sarupa. The moment we cross over, the moment we go out of Maya, there is something which is ultimately shining. That is what this verse wants us to realize. Maya loses seeming existence by knowledge of Brahman. See, suppose you come to know that there is something which is always there. For example, from the point of view, suppose you go to the sun and you are a resident of sun, you will never experience darkness. Similarly, if you remove ignorance about this Atma, then you have no experience of the unreal three states: waking, dream, and sleep. Waking, dream, and sleep has got karya, karana, prapancha relationship, but Atma or Brahman is beyond Karanam and Karya. Karanam Karyam is only up to the third level, that means up to the causal state. Beyond that Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetu Prakriti Ruchyate. In 13th chapter, Lord Krishna makes this very clear. Beyond the cause and effect, at the cause and effect level, Prakriti is supposed to be the cause. And in this Prakriti only we experience Sukham and Dukkham. But beyond this Prakriti, there is Purusha. Purusha means Kshetrajna, the observer, the ultimate Karana, which is a Karanam of even Maya. So what is the Purva Pakshi opponent is saying? Purva Pakshi is saying that ultimately when you remove everything, then there is only Shunyam. Shunyam means nothingness. Now this nothingness is Satyam according to one school of Buddhism which existed during about 1500 years ago. Which is what we have discussed in very big length in Mandukya Upanishad. So in such a question, if somebody says that when the world is resolved, there is shunyam, there is nothingness, then what Shankaracharya says, what will be my explanation to that? What we experience, Shankaracharya says, is not mere asat alone. Can never be experienced the world. There is a sat portion, which is the Atma portion. There is a asat portion, which is the Karya Karana portion. Okay, I think I will stop here. So we will continue this next week. So we will stop here in this 637 slide, and we will start with the revision portion of this verse 16 in the following week when we have the class. Now, next week I will not have a class because I am engaged with some other event. So next week will be the 21st of March. There will be no session of Bhagavad Gita. Saturday, there will be no class. Sunday, there will be a class. So only next Saturday, there's no class. So our next session will be on the 28th of March, which is a Saturday. So that time we will continue with this portion of this 16th verse. This Shankaracharya's commentary is very, very long for this particular mantra. And in April, I will be traveling for 3 weeks. I won't be available on the 4th, 11th, and 18th of April. So I'm just giving an advance notice. 3 weeks of April, there will be no sessions. But next week, there is class. And next week, there's no class for Saturday. Anyway, you will get a message also in the WhatsApp group. With this, I will stop today's session on the 16th verse. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.